Forex market size and liquidity. This video has many different subtitles, such as Vietnamese, Japanese and more. Please click CC button to select your language. Unlike other financial markets like the New York Stock Exchange (NYSE) or London Stock Exchange (LSE), the Forex market has neither a physical location nor a central exchange. The Forex market is considered an over-the-counter OTC or interbank market due to the fact that the entire market is run electronically, within a network of banks, continuously over a 24-hour period. This means that the spot Forex market is spread all over the globe with no central location. Trades can take place anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. The Forex OTC market is by far the biggest and most popular financial market in the world, traded globally by a large number of individuals and organizations. In an OTC market, participants determine who they want to trade with depending on trading conditions, the attractiveness of prices, and the reputation of the trading counterparty. This chart shows the 7 most actively traded currencies. The dollar is the most traded currency, taking up 84.9% of all transactions. The euro's share is second at 39.1%, while that of the yen is third at 19.0%. As you can see, most of the major currencies are hogging the top spots on this list. You've probably noticed how often we keep mentioning the US dollar, USD. If the USD is 1/2 of every major currency pair, and the majors comprise 75% of all trades, then it's a must to pay attention to the US dollar. The dollar is king in the Forex market. In fact, according to the International Monetary Fund (IMF), the US dollar comprises roughly 64% of the world's official foreign exchange reserves. Because almost every investor, business, and central bank own it, they pay attention to the US dollar. There are also other significant reasons why the US dollar plays a central role in the Forex market. 1. The United States economy is the largest economy in the world. 2. The US dollar is the reserve currency of the world. 3. The United States has the largest and most liquid financial markets in the world. 4. The United States has a stable political system. 5. The United States is the world's sole military superpower. 6. The US dollar is the medium of exchange for many cross-border transactions. For example, oil is priced in US dollars, also called petrodollars. So if Mexico wants to buy oil from Saudi Arabia, it can only be bought with US dollar. If Mexico doesn't have any dollars, it has to sell its pesos first and buy US dollars. Speculation in the Forex market. One important thing to note about the Forex market is that while commercial and financial transactions are part of the trading volume, most currency trading is based on speculation. In other words, most of the trading volume comes from traders that buy and sell based on intraday price movements. The trading volume brought about by speculators is estimated to be more than 90%. The scale of the Forex market means that liquidity, the amount of buying and selling volume happening at any given time, is extremely high. This makes it very easy for anyone to buy and sell currencies. From the perspective of a trader, liquidity is very important because it determines how easily price can change over a given time period. A liquid market environment like Forex enables huge trading volumes to happen with very little effect on price, or price action. While the Forex market is relatively very liquid, the market depth could change depending on the currency pair and time of day. Please click the subscribe button and don't forget to check the description below for more information.